Utah's most accurate forecast with Thomas Geboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
Good afternoon, Utah. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week. We saw some active weather to begin the work week, but that low pressure that brought us that active weather is now working its way past Colorado and New Mexico. Will continue to move away to the east. We got a ridge of high pressure setting up, and that's going to be the main controlling factor in our weather. But there will be a system that tries to undercut that going into our Thursday and Friday. Doesn't look like it's going to be bringing us much in the way of any chances for wet weather, and it's not going to be bringing us much cooler temperatures as well. But for our Thursday and Friday, we could see some increased winds and maybe some moisture in the eastern half of the state. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But for today, it's abundantly sunny skies and beautiful views. We were at the state capitol earlier this morning and got to see the cherry blossoms in full bloom. They are stunning. If you haven't gone to check out the cherry blossoms, I would highly encourage it. They don't bloom for too long, so you need to make sure that you do it. It's going to be a perfect latter half of the week and weekend to do it. But the Utah State Capitol surrounded by the cherry blossoms really doesn't get much better than that. And the grass is green as well because of how much moisture we've seen so far this winter and this spring. Here's the view from Park City Mountain, where if you're going to be heading up to the mountain today, Bluebird Day. And look at all the snow still there. Just really doesn't get much better. It's going to be a perfect spring day really across the state. Could see some breezy winds, but outside of that, again, going to be feeling pretty nice out there. Here's the view from Zion National Park, a great day to go for a hike. Right now we're sitting at 50 degrees in Logan. We're warming up into the upper 30s in Park City. We're sitting at 57 in Salt Lake, 61 degrees in Moab, and 66 degrees in St. George. For today, daytime highs in northern Utah will generally be in the 50s and 60s, while down in southern Utah, daytime highs will mainly be in the 60s and 70s, as St. George will be the warm spot, climbing to 81. Along the Wasatch Front, low to mid-60s. We'll see a daytime high of 51 in Park City, 58 in Heber, then over towards the Uinta Basin. Daytime highs ranging anywhere from the upper 50s to the middle 60s. A daytime high of 63 in Emory, 63 in Gunnison, 65 in Oak City and Millard County. Then as we go into southern Utah, a daytime high of 67 in Enterprise, a daytime high of 59 in Bryce Canyon, 72 in Hanksville, and a daytime high of 56 in Monticello. And we'll see mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies up and down the Beehive State, thanks to that ridge of high pressure in place. But as we talked about earlier in this forecast, we will have a system that tries to undercut that high pressure tomorrow, where we could see some moisture in the eastern half of the state, but with that high pressure in control, looking to stay mostly dry. Winds could increase especially for the second half of Thursday into Friday, maybe even some gap winds on Friday morning down in lower Washington County. And even though those winds are mainly going to be out of the north, temperatures will be very close to, if not above, our seasonal averages for our Friday. So temperatures come up slightly tomorrow compared to today, come down slightly going into our Friday, all for those temperatures to ramp right back up as we go into this upcoming weekend, as that high pressure will result in more of a westerly flow and then more of a southerly flow. And Sunday into Monday, temperatures could be well above our seasonal averages before we could start to see some changes maybe by the middle of next week. But the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center showing that we're likely going to see above average temperatures. And with above average temperatures, with how much snow we still have up in the mountains, 26.4 inches of snow water equivalent, the runoff will likely increase. As of right now, there are still no watches, warnings, or advisories when it comes to flooding, but it is something that we'll keep a close eye on. And those rivers, streams, and creeks will be running very fast and cold. So you want to stay away from those banks, and keep in mind down in southern Utah, slot canyons could become inundated with runoff. In St. George, daytime highs will be in the low to mid 80s the next couple of days, but by this weekend, with more of that southerly flow, daytime highs in the 90s with overnight lows in the 60s. Going to be a toasty weekend across the Southwest Desert. Then along the Wasatch Front, we go from the low to mid 60s today to upper 60s to around 70 for our Thursday and Friday, increased winds. Then for your Saturday and Sunday, daytime highs go from the upper 70s to low 80s, and we could see middle 80s by the early stretch of next week. Brian, Jillian.